Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what time you're watching this video. So today I'm going to be sharing with you the idea behind this trade setup that I shared with my community members last week. I was anticipating this drop on GBPCAD, and that's exactly what happened. If you look at this is the chart, this is where I share my trade setups with in my community. So last week I saw a particular pattern on GBPCAD and I shared it with them. This was how it was at the time. So I was looking at a pullback before a further drop on the downside on GBPCAD. And this was on Friday. So that was why if you look at it, you say, I see the pattern on GBPCAD. This should build up for next week. So price was already getting to close for the week. And I informed them that we should be expecting a sell on GBPCAD. So this is exactly how far it has gone in the week. Today is Wednesday, and it has really delivered so nicely. So I want to share the idea behind it because you need to understand that things don't just happen on a chart. You need to understand how to read the price chart properly before you can tell what price is likely to do. Now, I made a video on support and resistance a couple of weeks ago. You need to go check back that video because the concepts that I explained in that video is exactly what I used on this trade. So you see how important it is for you to note these basic things, as simple as they are, as basic as they are. So many people overlook it. They feel like, support and resistance is too simple. They want to go for the big ones, the big names. Well, guys, let me tell you the truth. You need to understand the basics properly before you can eventually go to the advanced level of things. So I want to show you how I was able to use it. I remember in that video, I mentioned how support and resistance comes. It can come in horizontal form. If you haven't watched it yet, you need to go. I'm going to share the link of that video so that you can go watch it. We have support and resistance coming in horizontal forms like this, buying at support, selling at resistance. And then we also have support and resistance coming in forms like this. It could come in this ascending form, like so. So we have this support and this resistance. Sorry, let's do it again. This is it. And this is resistance right here. Make sure you're paying attention. This is very important. So this is it. So we have support in this ascending channel, resistance, and then the third one I also mentioned. You just need to go and watch. You need to go and watch it because I don't want to make this video too long because I already explained it in that video. But let's see. This was exactly what I used on this pair. This particular ascending resistance that we see here. So this is the daily time frame, right? This is the daily time frame, and if I do this from the look of things, I place my trend line here and see what we have. Very clear ascending resistance. Yeah. So this was what I saw at the time. Price was trading around this area of resistance. So this was the first thing I saw. And remember, when price gets to an area of resistance, what did I say in that previous video? I mentioned that it means that sellers are inside of that zone, ready to push price down. So what do you need to do as a trader? You need to start getting ready, position yourself so that you can also take advantage of the opportunity. Every time price tapped into this resistance, it dropped. It tapped here again, it dropped. It tapped into it again, it dropped. So this was where it was at the time on Friday last week when I was looking out for that sale because I had seen it happen previously in the past, and you know how human beings behave. Patterns are repeatable. So you need to understand that patterns are repeatable. History will tell us what is likely to happen in the future. So from here, I was anticipating that drop just because of this, right? Simply because we already have resistance on the daily time frame. Now let's narrow down to smaller time frames to look out for other confluences that added up to that, to the bias I had on GBPCAD. I'm going to put this back right here. And yes, so this is it. So we go on the smaller time frame, like the 4 hour. You can see very clearly, very nicely how price was always reacting to this level of resistance. It just tells you that there are sellers here and they want to push price down. Great. So let's now narrow down to the most recent area at the time. Now this is it. This was where we were at that time. And I think, okay, I did it on the 2 hour. Let's go to the 2 hour time frame. Great. So this was exactly what was happening on Friday last week when I was looking out for that opportunity. I had seen that price tapped into that resistance. And then also, if you know about liquidity, I'm going to make a video teaching us also how to spot liquidity in the market. So price had taken out the sellers who came into this place to sell, the initial sellers here. So price had taken them out from at this point here, indicating that they were ready to push price down because they had already taken the stops that were sitting above this area. If you don't understand what I'm saying, don't worry. I'm going to make a video on liquidity so that you can learn how to identify and spot liquidity on the chart. So after that happened, we can see clearly this drop down here. This is a very strong drop indicating selling pressure, that sellers have come with all their weight to push the price down. So this is a strong move that was done impulsively to the downside. And this strong move also made a breakout of this structure point here. Because initially from this point, you would see that price was trading to the upside like this. It was trading, giving us higher highs and higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. And price eventually made a breakout of the last bullish structure, which is this area right here. So normally what price does is this: when there's a breakout, we expect a retest to happen before it continues, because this is how price moves. This is how price moves. It doesn't just go straight down. There's definitely going to be some point where we see it correct and then continue to the downside. So this was exactly what I was looking for. So after I'd seen that price had done that, made a break out of this level here, I was looking out for that retest. And if you look at it again, this is it. So this is it. Price had made a break out of the structure point. So I was anticipating that retest to happen. And that's exactly what we see on the chart right now. So so that retest eventually happened, and boom, we can see how it eventually crashed to the downside. So these are things you want to look out for when you're trading, using simple, basic retail concept, support, resistance, and candlestick patterns. Because if you also pay attention to the candlestick patterns here, you would see that this is an engulfing candle, a bearish engulfing candle, indicating that sellers are inside of this zone. And see the strong bearish candles around here, just really telling us what sellers are doing. And just really get ready to drop the price on GBPCAD. So I wasn't surprised when this drop actually happened, right? So I'm sharing this with you so that you can see the power of using support and resistance to determine price movement on the chart, right? All you need to do is to pay attention to it. Go back to that video, watch it. If you have questions you want to ask, you can drop them in the comments. I'll be here to answer them. And also, if you want to learn how to spot it, how to do this properly yourself, you can send me a message on Instagram at Rita Trades, and you can sign up for my mentorship program. I'll teach you how to spot high probability trades so that you too can also look out for trade opportunities by yourself without depending on signals or depending on anybody. You too can do this by yourself, right? Send me a DM. I would be glad to teach you how to do this. Okay, so if you found this helpful, remember to click the subscribe button, like the video. Let me know what you think in the comments, what you want me to share on this platform. Let me know in the comments if you have questions to ask, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.